Chapter 1. The Devil. In the beginning, it was without form, just an empty expanse of dark nothingness, a void that needed to be filled. It smelled of earth, of rot, of damp and dead decaying things. Even though it was a raw space, he saw it for what it was, a blank canvas he could shape into something that had purpose. On the first day, he rigged up portable lights, separating the light from the darkness. Then, taking a steel crowbar, he removed the wooden boards so that natural light could flow in through the basement windows. The window glass was frosted, obscured, so curious eyes could not see clearly inside. An electrical contractor was paid cash to install overhead fluorescent fixtures so that there was light, day and night, at the flip of a switch. On the second day, he installed moisture-resistant wall sheeting over the existing walls and wood frame to keep out the damp and mold. Then he applied a moisture-retardant paint to all the surfaces so that everything was dry and waterproof. On the third day, he installed a mini refrigerator and plugged it in. Next, he filled the refrigerator with an assortment of food. In the door, he neatly placed 16-ounce bottles of spring water. On the single glass shelf, he placed fruit and dairy snacks. The freezer compartment he filled with packaged meals, quick and easy to heat in the microwave oven, that he placed on top of the mini fridge. On the fourth day, the steel box was installed. It was 10 feet wide by 12 feet long and 7 feet tall, with steel-plated walls reinforced with a 2-inch channel frame. It had a custom-made 8-inch air vent, and he had paid extra for a portable AC unit to be installed, so it would be cool and comfortable inside the steel box. The reinforced door was precision-cut with heavy-duty hinges, a commercial keypad lock, and a rectangular letterbox-style viewing window made from bulletproof glass. He had modified the door mechanism so it could only be opened from the outside. The steel box could survive an EF5 tornado or hurricane, which meant that, while the house above it could be torn away, the steel box would remain in place and intact. 3,000 pounds of concrete blocks could be dropped on the steel box from a height of 40 feet, and they would barely scratch its surface. A mid-sized sedan could also be dropped from the same height, simulating an impact during a tornado, and the steel box would be undamaged. The box had been installed in a day by qualified contractors, and at his request, they had placed it in the corner of the basement. The contractors were then paid a generous tip when the installation was complete, and the owner bid them farewell. There was a battery-powered LED internal light, but apart from this, there were few other creature comforts inside the box. So the owner then installed a single bed of tubular steel and a folding chair for the occupant. It would be a Spartan existence with only a 4-inch by 10-inch glimpse of the world outside, provided by the rectangular glass window. Then, when everything was complete and the bed was made with white cotton sheets and a thin covering blanket, the man stood inside the steel box, inside his basement, inside his house, and surveyed the finished product. He was pleased with what he saw. On the 5th day, he donned white hooded coveralls, goggles, thick rubber gloves, and a disposable face mask, and sprayed commercial insect killer and scattered rodent repellent granules. There would be no other living creatures in his subterranean paradise. On the 6th day, he found his Adam. For there would never be an Eve, for it was Adam who was so totally and utterly responsible for the vile filth, the senseless destruction, and widespread depravity that infested the heavens and the earth since the dawn of creation. Like Adam in the biblical sense, his Adam that he had taken was fashioned in his own image. Adam, like the rest of mankind, could have refused the forbidden fruit when it was offered to him, but he couldn't resist, and that was mankind's biggest downfall. He had to taste, to eat, to consume, to gorge himself on everything, until there was nothing left. On the 7th day, he rested and admired his Garden of Eden as he watched his Adam through the plate glass window. And when his rest turned into restlessness, he got up and made plans for taking his next Adam, for he needed to fill his Garden of Eden. There were 4 Adams to date, and endless possibilities for more. But unlike the book of Genesis in the Bible, he was not God. Far from it. He was the devil incarnate.